Hey there, YouTube. Sir Daniel 1975 back again, and I am reprising an old video series known as Scottish Genealogical Fantasies. And the topic I'm going to cover in this video really doesn't necessarily apply just to Scotland. It actually applies to everybody's genealogical family tree. And that is knowing the difference between direct lines and indirect lines. And I hear people use this term when they refer to ancestors and they call them direct ancestors. And when you hear them explain how where this particular person is in their family tree, you realize that's not really a direct ancestor. So let me start by, I've set up some images here on a 5 generation tree, and this is just a basic free download, this tree. Basically, you would fill in your name here, right where I'm moving the mouse, and most people would call this their father, this their mother, right down here. So let me show you how I'm calling this. So this is you, this is your father, this is your grandfather, this is your great-grandfather, and your great-great-grandfather. And you come over here, that's your mother, that's your grandmother, your great-grandmother, and then your great-great-grandmother. So let me start. This is real simple now, okay? So, and a lot of this has to do with if you go and you have your DNA tested, okay? When they test your DNA, and they test your DNA for the Y chromosome line and the maternal chromosome line, those are your direct lines, okay? So, this is your direct paternal line from you to your father, to your grandfather, to your great-grandfather, and your great-great-grandfather, okay? And only males can have, if you're doing having a Y chromosome DNA test, can have the paternal line tested, okay? And the mother's line is your direct maternal line from mother to grandmother to great-grandmother to great-grandmother, and so on, okay? So all of this stuff that you see here in the middle, those are your indirects, okay? They're not direct. So if it goes from you to your father, then to your father's mother, your grandmother, then to her father, and then to her grandfather, that's really indirect. Still an ancestor, but it's not in the direct lines, okay? It's not in the direct paternal line, and it's not in the direct maternal line, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying here, all right? The stuff in between here is indirect. It's that plain and simple, okay? A lot of people get this wrong. A lot of people who are really into their genealogy. And there are even some genealogists that get this wrong, okay? Some of them are on TV, and they get this wrong, okay? These are the paternal line from you to your father, to grandfather, great-grandfather, etc., etc., etc. That's your direct paternal line. And your MT line is your direct maternal line, okay? Mitochondrial DNA, Y chromosome DNA up here with the male line. Mitochondrial with the female, Y chromosome with the male. You understand? Okay? Those are your direct lines. So when they test for who your direct ancestors are, that's what they're testing, not the stuff in between. Now, this stuff gets included in other things like percentage tests. This is where you could have like 20% Irish, 30% Scandinavian, etc., etc., etc. Does it matter? Of course it matters. But is it matter to the point to where people that are obsessing over somebody 20 generations back that was possibly royalty and it's somewhere in the indirect line and telling everybody that they are their direct ancestor and nobody in their family even possesses the same last name as that person, that's not your direct ancestor in any way. Or I don't know how more clear I could be on this. But everybody is obsessed with all this stuff in the indirect line versus what's actually in the direct line. Okay, that's really more what I'm talking about. And when you say direct, that's really what you're supposed to be meaning. But most people really haven't connected the dots on this. So this is kind of the end of the video. There's really no more to go with this. It would just be me continuing to repeat myself. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of people that disagree with this, probably a bunch of dislikes, a lot of people leaving comments if they're going to start leaving comments in any of my videos that are nasty. This is going to be one of them. I'm sorry if I'm bursting anybody's bubble. It's not my intention to make anybody angry, but sometimes people need to be told, and so this is one of those situations. Please accept what I'm trying to do here. Remember the stuff in the middle, indirect ancestors. They're an ancestor, but they're not your direct ancestors. So please stop calling everybody that's somewhere in the middle, 20 to 30 generations back, your direct ancestor. And I guess that's where I'm going to leave it. If you like this video, please click like. If not, go ahead and click dislike. Hey, if you like this kind of video, subscribe and leave a comment. If you don't like this video, go ahead, leave a comment. But I'm also going to say this. Anybody gets nasty, I screen these comments, okay? I screen them big time. Okay? I'm not here to be rude. Nobody's here to be rude. But don't be nasty. I'm just laying down some information. Right. Thanks for watching.